time, welcome back. It's your boy Kelly Eden. I'm gonna do another review today. Apologies ahead of time if my voice sounds nasaled and annoying. I'm still sick and honestly I should be in bed today, but I decided I wanted to appear as a human today and not The Walking Dead, so here I am. This video is sponsored by VP Fashion. I've worked with them many times before and they paid me to basically do a full review on their new swatch of hair color, which is basically supposed to be their new lighter shade of blonde. Now this new lighter shade is supposed to be white blonde and the hair is supposed to be treated for people who are going to be dyeing their own hair, doing DIYs and things of that nature. So they sent me a bundle of clip-ins. I typically don't do the more long-term extensions like tape-ins or individuals, which they do sell. I just don't like it personally for me, which is really just a personal preference. I went through about like 5 to 6 years where I constantly had tape-in extensions, and I did like them, but I just felt like they were, I guess, a little bit cumbersome and just a little bit annoying with the upkeep. I like clip-ins because I find that they last longer, they stay healthier longer, and I just like the feeling of being able to take out my extensions and like run my fingers through my scalp, give it a good wash and things like that. So I have a little bit of footage of how I prepped the hair and how I dyed it. I'm actually going to show you guys how I clip in my extensions too, and then I'm going to give my most honest review of the hair extensions. So I've said this before, but just in case you're new to this channel, anytime I'm doing a review, regardless if it's paid, sponsored, or if it's something that's a gift that's been sent to me, whatever, I am always upfront and honest. If I don't like something, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm just going to tell you guys what I don't like about it. However, I say it in a very professional way, of course, and then I'll tell you what I think the product needs to be better. I just think it's important to be honest with you guys of how I feel about this product, regardless if the company is paying me or not. So yeah, that's my disclaimer out there. So let's get to the review. So here are the extensions right after I washed them. I'm sorry I didn't get a shot of them before they got wet. I know, bad YouTuber, bad. But you can still see the shade of the extensions fairly well. Now, they are a bit, I don't know, like a sandy color. So basically what they did is they just threw on a toner on their lighter shade of blonde. So it's not white blonde by any sense of the word. However, it is toned, so a lot of that brassiness or yellow color is out of there. So now I'm prepping my mixing bowl with a whole lot of conditioner. Now a lot of you guys have been asking what my hair color is, and basically it's really faded splat pink fetish, but I'm using this guy. This is Directions. The color is, I think it's called Rose, and what I do is I just take the tiniest little dab and then I mix it in with conditioner. This is basically the closest thing that I can get to what splat looks like when it's faded. They're both basically a very blue-toned pink. This is such a pretty color. I really love how it comes out. I even like it when it's dark as well. You guys might have seen me when I do my two-toned hair, and this is the color that I use for the darker color. See, isn't that pretty? It's so dark it almost looks black. So this is the method that I use anytime I'm doing a brush dye. The board that I have here is actually my drawing board from college, and then you can see the little clips up there. So I just wrapped a plastic bag around the board, and then I just put the hair extensions under the clip, and it actually works really well. I would find that this is probably the easiest way if you're going to do a brush dye like this, because to be honest, I'm really not a fan of this method. It takes so long, and I hate it. It's just so tedious. The other thing that's a little bit of a struggle is because VP Fashion hair is so thick, which I like, that's great, but because it's so thick, it can take a long time to basically get the dye all the way through the hair, especially if you're trying to do a pastel color or a lighter color, any sort of color that you're mixing in with conditioner. I'm being very careful on how I'm depositing the color. I have a bad history of getting the hair to be very, I guess, inconsistent, splotchy, or even choppy. So it's also just difficult because I'm trying to get a different mix of hair dye to match my current hair right now. So this took a long time, you guys. And I'll just be honest with you, I got really fed up after doing the first strand and I ended up just doing the dip dye anyway. But I wanted to do one weft just so I could see, you know, how the hair was taking the dye and if it was any different than any time that I've dyed any other extensions of VP Fashion. Because like I said, VP Fashion had basically prepped this hair specifically for people who are doing DIY. I did find that it did take the dye maybe a little bit more, maybe by 10% more. It wasn't too much of a noticeable difference for me to rave about it, but, you know, it was okay. Here's one of the best things I love about VP Fashion. Anytime you order extensions from them, they're going to give you this little protective bag. I love this bag. It's on a little hanger and it helps me keep all my extensions organized and clean. It's just great. It's such a good method of how to store your extensions, because before this I was kind of just like braiding them and keeping them in a drawer. So this is just a great innovative way of storing your extensions and keeping them happy, healthy, and clean. Alright, so now I'll show you guys how I put in my extensions. I'm using a little bit of hairspray. This is from Numa, and I love this guy. And then I'm just using a rat tail comb. So after brushing my hair and running a little product through it, I basically go in with the end of the rat tail comb and draw a line all the way around my scalp from basically the tip of my ear to the other tip of my ear. Brushing it through, and then I take the rest of my hair up and then I put it into a clip just to keep it out of the way. Taking the comb, I'm back combing or teasing sections of my hair right at the part that I made. Now you don't need a lot of volume here, so I definitely don't recommend going crazy here. You don't want something that's going to get tangled or ratted. And then you're just going to do a very light mist of hairspray for something to grab onto. And then of course you take the little tiny clips of the hair extensions and you pin them into place, and voila. I'll usually run my hands through it a couple times, give my hair a good tug, just to make sure they're not going to slip out and you know, cause a ruckus when I'm at the grocery store and I'm playing with my hair and then all of a sudden my hair comes out! So the placement that I'm doing on my head is probably going to differ from most heads out there, and mainly it's just because my hair is so dang thin. Putting extensions on me is kind of like putting extensions on a Muppet, you know, because I just have like a tiny head and tiny hair, and it just, you know, you get what I'm saying. So now you get a basic idea of how I put my extensions in. I typically like to focus most of my extensions around the front of my head, around my face. So I put a lot of individual pieces, you know, in my bangs or on the side of my head, and that actually just kind of helps it look a little bit more uniform, and it actually blends it in with my hair. I actually am daring enough to get quite close to my part, and that's just because I feel like the pink helps hide the tracks a little bit more. But for the back of my head, there's just really nothing I can do. You can always see my tracks in the back of my head. But anyway, I did want to take an opportunity to just talk about the quality of the hair, because I actually really do like VP Fashion. They are probably my favorite company right now, just for like quality's sake and for the price. I think it's a very fair price for the quality that you're getting. I like that their wefts are typically very thick and they're pretty consistent. I've never really had a bundle that got really gnarly or matted or, you know, that kind of like stringy feeling. Again, it's not like their quality is not to the level of like $500 hair, right? And who wants to spend that anyway? So what I'm saying is the quality is great for the price. I like the way that it feels. I know what to expect from them, and I just think that they have great customer service. So yeah, all good things in that department. When I hide the individual pieces into my bangs, I usually go at an angle, so they kind of sit in a way that they kind of cover half of my face, almost framing my face, if you will. Even though the track is sitting pretty close to my part, I'm leaving enough of my bangs to be able to cover it up just so it blends a little bit more. I usually like to put 2 or 3 pieces into my bangs and maybe 1 on the other side. Again, because my hair is super thin and I have a dramatic part, the other side isn't going to be able to cover it very well, so I kind of have to be like really careful where I'm putting my tracks. But then again, it doesn't matter. You're always going to see my tracks no matter what. That's the Kelly Eden brand, always being able to see her tracks. Okay, so this is how the hair came out. Now you can't really see because the camera's kind of forcing the colors to blend, but my hair doesn't quite match the extensions. Because the extensions were toned, it was given sort of like I don't know what, it came out like a smoky pink. But I guess, you know, if you're far away or if you're looking at it through the camera, you can't really tell, but, you know, I can tell. Okay, but overall, I do like the hair. I will say the ends need just a little trim because they're just a little frayed, but nothing a little, you know, trip to the salon can't fix. The hair is really thick. I like it. It's great. It's pretty easy to get it to blend in with my own hair, you know, as much as, you know, possible, I guess, because my hair is super thin, and I just try. For watching this video. If you liked it, give it a like. If you have tried VP fashion for yourself, or if you have any questions about VP fashion or my experience with it, go ahead and leave a comment down below. I'm usually pretty attentive to the comment section, so I'm happy to like jump in there and talk with you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about the review and if you want to see more. So until tomorrow, I will see you guys next time. Bye bye!